Hi guys, and welcome back to another Dot Race video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 21. Round 4 of our MotoGP World Championship career mode is upon us, and it's time for the Portuguese GP of Portimao. So starting in pole position is Johan Zarco with Oliveira, Pecco Bagnaia, Quartararo, Rins and Maverick Vinales, Miller, Mir, Martin, Espargaro, Morbidelli, Espargaro, Marquez, Bastianini, Nakagami, Rossi, Leccuona, Marini, Savadori, Grant, Petrucci, Marquez and Brad Binder at the back of the grid. So we now look to the lights on board the Aprilia, power setting 3 enabled, waiting for them to go out, and away we go. What a start there from Matt Grant. That was a fantastic start. Look at us fire through into power setting 3. Can we get past the doctor there? Beautifully done there. Now hard on the brakes going into turn 1. Massive contact there with Marc Marquez, as rubbing is certainly racing. As someone's gone down, Espargaro went down, as carnage has already occurred in this Grand Prix, as there's absolute carnage going everywhere. What a start though from Matt Grant. He's now up into the top 10 positions. Brilliant performance there on board the Aprilia RSGP. That whole shot device has certainly worked in that instance. That is absolutely fantastic. As we now go hard on the brakes, we trail the two Suzukis in 8th position. That is brilliant, brilliant stuff there from Matt Grant. I was just about to say I am really concerned about what it's going to be for us here today. It's not going to be good in the sense of race results, because of course starting 20th is never good. But I tell you what guys, what a wicked start coming in from the Moto2 World Champion. Let me remind you that this is a rookie, but this is magnificent. What a start from the 27-year-old from Warrington, right on the rear of Joan Mir. In fact, I certainly thought about a move up on the inside of Joan Mir, and tell you what, job has been done. We're now got ahead of the world champion, and we have Alex Rins to contend with now. Can we get up the inside of the Suzuki ride? A little bit of contact made there, but Matt Grant is now up into 6th position. That is a wicked, wicked progression. 14 places in 1 lap. What a start from the guy on board the Aprilia. He is too good in this category right now. I am super pleased with that performance. I was really, really concerned about how we're going to cope here today in Portimao. The qualifying didn't go as planned, but of course it is only 1 lap. That is just 1 lap. We could end up going backwards, but who knows. I just feel fantastic. I feel really confident now going into turn 1. A little bit too much out of shape there, but we will close in on Fabio Quartararo, the Yamaha man, defending well as he got a little bit out of shape himself going into turn 1. Looks like the AI tend to do that as well, as Miguel Oliveira is leading this Grand Prix. Johan Zarco and Pecco Bagnaia jostling for 2nd position. There's now Maverick Vinales right onto the pressure points of Zarco, trying to get through, trying to get past him. And where will he make that lunge, if anywhere, as we go right onto the rear of Fabio Quartararo. This could be short-lived as we made small contact there with Fabio Quartararo. Is Quartararo going to have the inside line on the right-hand side? Beautifully positioned from Fabio, but will Grant respond? I thought we'd be going backwards in this Grand Prix, but just a little bit further ahead. We have now got ahead of Fabio Quartararo. The Frenchman has been dethroned of that 5th position. Matt Grant on board the Aprilia. He started 20th. He's now up into 5th. What a start. Brilliant, brilliant stuff for the man on board the Aprilia RSGP. The guys in the Noale factory will be cheering right now. The guys in the pit will certainly be enjoying this performance right now as things stand. Now honestly, I really prepared for the worst here today in Portimao, and honestly I am well and truly surprised at our performance. That start that we had off the line with power setting 3 was phenomenal. Probably the best start I've ever had in a MotoGP video game. That was unbelievably good, and that has made the difference right now. Seem to be bigging myself up a little bit, so maybe I should probably focus on the race. But to be honest, if the race ended right now and we had 5th position in the bag, I would gladly take that. That is brilliant. Not close enough for Miguel Oliveira's lap time there of a 1:38.526. We were about 0.3 of a second slower than the Red Bull KTM leading this Grand Prix, so I guess that means that we probably won't win it. But it does look like we are chasing down Maverick Vinales and Johan Zarco. It does look like we have something still to give. We still have something to chase down. We have the bit between our teeth, so it's just a matter of time of focusing in on Maverick Vinales and trying to chase him down as this race progresses. But on the left-hand side for the Tour VIP, that gap has come down again. The gap is only down to 0.3 of a second, as Maverick Vinales will have to both defend and attack at the very same time. Right-hand side, we go for turn 7, very close to the apex there. Do be careful. If you touch the rumble strip there, you might go down, to try and avoid it if you can. But smooth acceleration over the rise is imperative not to wheelie here, as we tweak the settings once again. Traction control 3, anti-wheelie 4, and engine brakes on 5 here today as things stand. And now power setting 2. I feel much more comfortable with power setting 2 rather than power setting 3. Left hand side we'll go for turn 12. Oliveira still leads from Bagnaia, Zarco and Vinales. Very, very good start nonetheless. Of course, we are in 5th position, and as mentioned, I would definitely take that right now. 120%, just like the AI difficulty. I would accept that straight away. I would just literally snap it straight off your hands, and I wouldn't even think twice. But looking at the lap time, we're pretty much the same as the previous lap. It's going to be a 1:38.8 or thereabouts. It's going to be very close to the same lap time we just set. Seems to be a change in the sense of the fastest lap, as Pecco Bagnaia is now the fastest man on track right now with a 1:38.503. Now, of course, right hand side we will go for turn 2. Turn 3, you know the track layout by now. We're on lap 4, and we've closed in once again on Maverick Vinales. Not enough to start saying that we're going to make a lunge or we're going to size him up, but just got to try and stay within his slipstream. I'm short shifting here going into the Tour VIP. I do find it helps getting you a lot more acceleration into that corner is key to try and chasing down the opponents. I think we have made some great steps here today. This is the track that I honestly felt this was going to be the worst one. Well, that and Kimi Ring. I don't like the Kimi Ring at all. But as far as the races go, Qatar was a surprise. I didn't think we'd struggle so much. Argentina expected us to do well. USA, I was happy with the result. I think it was a good result. I was quite pleased with that one. And now here in Portimao, if we can take 5th position, I'm going to be very happy with that one. I'm really pleased with our start in this one. As you could probably tell since I've mentioned it so many times, I was really concerned about this one, really concerned. And now it's going to be the complete difference. We're going to be in the top 10 positions, if not better, the top 5. Now, Joan Mir is half a second behind us. He's actually gone down to 0.4 of a second. There is probably a chance for Joan Mir. You know how strong he is towards the end of the Grand Prix races. I don't think the game depicts that very well, but for the time being, you never know. Joan Mir is still there. He's the world champion. I don't fancy him trying to chase me down. I really don't. But it's going to be another consistent lap time coming in from the way of the Aprilia man. It's a 1:38.930. Look at those 3 lap times. They're very close to each other. Very consistent, very smooth as we just run it a little bit wide going into turn 1. That will be our first track limit warning. Apparently not, so actually. I'll take that one, thank you very much. We didn't get a track limit warning, I guess probably because we entered the track with no advantage gained, therefore no track limit warning was given. But short shifting up once again, trying to chase down Maverick Vinales as we go hard on the brakes into the Tour VIP. Miguel Oliveira, Pecco Bagnaia, Johan Zarco, Maverick Vinales and Grant is your somewhat of a train right now. I guess you probably wouldn't include Grant in the train, as it seems to be just the 4 riders ahead of us. There's a slight gap from Pecco Bagnaia to Zarco, but that is pretty much to be closed down instantly, depending where and when Zarco decides to break that a little bit extra later. Now onto the left-hand side for the Craig Jones. Miguel Oliveira is still leading this one quite comfortably, but Pecco Bagnaia looks like he's definitely having a lunge, or he's certainly thinking about it. I must have mentioned Oliveira at the worst possible point there, as Pecco Bagnaia has a wonderful opportunity of getting past Miguel Oliveira. Of course, Pecco Bagnaia winning his first Grand Prix as we get a little bit out of shape there into turn 13, but Pecco Bagnaia winning his first Grand Prix last time out in USA is definitely desperate for another one here today. As you think he's in? Yes, he is. Oliveira has been beaten. Pecco Bagnaia now up into the top position as Oliveira has been pushed backwards. We are sort of losing a little bit of pace here as well, as we made a few more mistakes in that particular sector. And now Joan Mir is right onto the rear of Matt Grant. We're 2.3 seconds down to the guys at the front. But for the time being, let's just try and focus on our position and try and just keep Joan Mir at bay. Good braking going into turn 1. That has made us up about 0.2 of a second. That is how important and imperative turn 1 is for good, solid braking. Left-hand side underneath the TISO sign for turn 4. Hard on the acceleration if you want to coming out of that corner, but you'll probably falter. Go smooth and go gentle. And now we're right onto the rear of Maverick Vinales once again. Left-hand side for the VIP. Bring on this acceleration, but bring it on smoothly, bring it on gradually, bring it on calmly. And that will result in a smooth acceleration to chase down your opponents, as we have Maverick Vinales in our sights. And I've got to be honest with you guys, I'm desperate to chase him down. It doesn't feel like I'm going to go backwards. It feels like we still have the momentum to chase these guys down, and I'm absolutely desperate for it. I really am. If we can chase down Maverick Vinales and get ourselves closer to that podium, then God bless. MotoGP. Swear to God, we're going to give it everything we've got. 0.5 of a second quicker than our fastest lap so far, which was a 1:38.836. 0.3 of a second slower than Pecco Bagnaia's lap time from earlier on. So this could very well be the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, which is going to be massive. We've never taken the fast lap of the race, I don't believe. I think Johann Zarco responded to me in Argentina and stole it away from me. But if I'm wrong, then it'll be our second fastest lap of the of the weekend. So on the right hand side we'll go for the Galp. Power setting 2 enabled until we get the bike straightened, and then we'll chuck on power setting 3 to try and chase him down. But of course, going across the line, it is going to be a 1:38.736, 0.2 of a second slower than Pecco Bagnaia's lap time, but still a very, very good lap nonetheless. A very consistent pace so far. We had a few hiccups on the last one, but now we're back into the 1:38s after that little minor faux pas, let's say, as we go into the left-hand side for turn 4. Caught me out trying to say that, didn't it? Bring on the acceleration, bring on the power, and let's chase down Maverick Vinales. Oh, I'm so desperate for it. I'm running out of laps here, and I'm really, really desperate to get ahead of the Yamaha and just get some more points for the team and just really show what we can do. And let me remind you, ladies and gentlemen, we did start from 20th place in the grid. We did start on 20th place in the grid, and we are now battling for a 4th position. That's awesome, isn't it? I mean, how do we go from Qatar doing absolutely terrible to then taking a podium in Argentina, a 7th place in USA, and potentially here a 5th position? I'm super pleased with the progression, I really am. I felt very, very down after Qatar. I felt I'd let you all down, and I was dreading uploading that video, but I'm pleased to say that we are responding quite nicely now. I think I've finally figured it out, be smooth on the acceleration, but when I said smooth on Ride 4, smooth in Moto 3, smooth in Moto 2, this is a whole new level of smoothness. It's a brand new equation of smoothness. You have to be so gentle on the acceleration, especially when you've got the assist turned off. The assists such as the accelerator and with the corner control, being super smooth is imperative to even get close to these guys. And look at that lap time, super close again to the previous lap time. We are right onto the rear of Maverick Vinales. Do we have a chance of stealing 4th position going into the right-hander here? Not close enough. Going to be very difficult to get ahead of Maverick Vinales, but you better believe I'm going all gung-ho to try and get past him. Right onto the rear of Maverick, do the short shifting because that's been working pretty well. We'll brake on the right-hand side and hopefully close him in, going around the outside. Hopefully he runs it a little bit wide. Can we take advantage? Oh, I'm sitting on the edge of my seat. Oh, a little bit of contact made there with Maverick Vinales. We had the same amount of contact given with Fabio Quartararo. Maverick Vinales does not want to give up this 4th position. Right onto the rear of the Maverick Vinales right now. Onto the Yamaha. Whoa, super close there. The Aprilia very, very close to just touching the rear of Maverick Vinales. To bring on the power once again. Left-hander for Craig Jones. Do we have a shot going into the right-hander of Portimao? Maverick ran it a little bit wide. Go on, Grant, up the inside, alongside him now. It's going to be super close. Can we get through? Oh, Maverick Vinales. Oh, massive contact behind. Jack Miller and Joan Mir have both gone down in the corner behind us. Something's happened there. And Miguel Oliveira's gone wide as we'll try and get up the inside. Maverick Vinales, a little bit of contact there coming in from the way of Grant and the Yamaha. My apologies, Maverick. It was not with conviction and it wasn't with any malice. I'm just desperate to get ahead of you right now to chase down the riders ahead of us because I feel I have the pace to make our prominent position fighting for these podium positions right ahead of us as Maverick Vinales responds very well, pushing us wide a little bit there, but that resulted in a slow execution and throttle there for Maverick Vinales. Vinales has been pushed back to 5th place and I think he's going to have to succumb to that position as Grant is now up into the 4th position with the bit between his teeth. The gap is less than a second to Miguel Oliveira ahead of him. Pecco Bagnaia looks like he's checking out of this Grand Prix, so it's curtains for the rest of us. Pecco Bagnaia looks to have got the job done. Zarco in 2nd position as we run it a little bit wide going into turn 4. Now into the Tour VIP for turn 5. Hard on the brakes we will go with that familiar left dying easy boot, just skipping across the tarmac there as we'll begin to chase down Miguel Oliveira. The gap is 9/10 of a second, so it's sort of hovering around the same position as it was to start the lap. But we are so strong going into turn 1. We are quite strong here as well in the 3rd split. It's the 4th split we sort of lose a little bit of ground. It's not a lot, but it's enough to make the job a little bit harder. And with Miguel Oliveira just 9/10 of a second ahead of us, we need to claw every single 10th of a second away from him. We can't give him an opportunity to continue to push ahead, but I don't think he's chasing down Zarco. The gap is pretty much the same as things stand, as Pecco Bagnaia gone wide into the... Bagnaia's gone down! Ladies and gentlemen, Pecco Bagnaia has dropped the front. Will he be able to recover? Pecco Bagnaia has dropped the front going into turn 13. Massive mistake coming in for the Italian. The winner, the world champion leader right now as things stand. He certainly won't be holding on to that title towards the end of this Grand Prix. Pecco Bagnaia, what a blunder from the factory Ducati boys. No Jack Miller and no Pecco Bagnaia right now as things stand in the top 10 positions. And guys, we're on the podium. We might have been gifted the podium, but we are on the podium right now. And I tell you what, this isn't over. This is not over by a long shot. 1 second is the gap to Zarco. Half a second is the gap to Miguel Oliveira. Guys and gals, do we have a first Grand Prix victory on the card for us right now? We started 20th place. Yes, there's been a couple of crashes ahead of us, or at least Pecco Bagnaia. We have a wonderful chance here of creating something incredible. Right onto the rear now of the KTM. Where will we have the lunge going ahead of Miguel Oliveira? 3 laps are remaining and a little bit more as we go onto the right hand side for turn 7. Turn 8 for Samsung. We'll be right onto the rear of Miguel Oliveira. Power setting 2. I'm not going to mess around with power setting 3 because I feel like we've got a good sensation right now, a good rhythm with the motorbike. We have a good feeling and we have a great opportunity of chasing Miguel Oliveira down going into Portimao for turn 10. Now turn 11 for the right hand side. Where will we have the lunge going ahead of Miguel Oliveira? Left hand side now holding the power. Can we get ahead of him on the brakes? It's going to be very close, so we're going to go lunge there. Zarco's run it a little bit deep, a little bit of a touch on the rumble strip there, a little bit of a mistake as we get onto the right hand side. Now of course cast your minds back to Moto 2, but we'll do that in a second as we get ahead of Miguel Oliveira. A little bit of contact made there, and that is now second position for the man who started 20th place. What a race so far, ladies and gentlemen. I think this one might be the best since Argentina, if not better than Argentina. But I did say cast your minds back to Moto 2 because Remy Gardner gifted us a win last time when we were in Portimao in Moto 2 because he dropped the front in the exact same corner. But let me remind you guys, cast your mind back to Argentina instead. Johan Zarco was the only man to beat us in Argentina. He was the only man capable of battling it out to the end. Johan Zarco, Grant, once again we meet again, Johan, and now it is time for battle once again, and I can't wait for this one. Half a second is the gap to Johan Zarco as things stand. 1 second is the gap to Miguel Oliveira, so he has completely lost it now. I don't think he's going to be able to compete on those tyres. It looks like we have just managed those medium tyres a little bit better than what Miguel Oliveira did. Now, bear in mind, Johan Zarco is on a slightly different combination of tyres. He has a hard front. We're, of course, on the medium front and rear. Zarco hard front, medium rear. Oh, and Zarco's ran it a little bit deep. I'm mentioning the hard front, but it didn't help him in that instance, as we're right on the rear of Johan Zarco. Left-hand side we go for 0.3 of a second behind him. Can we have a lunge going into the left-hander of turn 13? Zarco's run it deep again. Get onto the left-hand side. Contact if we need to. Oh, there is the contact. I expected that. It's the same position we got contact with both Fabio Quartararo and Maverick Vinales. And now Zarco's took the lead once again. It's Argentina all over again. I thought we'd have the job done right now, but Zarco is still in the first position. Oh, contact made again. Both riders making contact going into the final corner of lap 11. We'll get across the line as we'll go side by side, across the line, side by side. Here they come down into turn 1. Who's going to be harder on the brakes? It's Johan Zarco. Zarco is that little bit more meatier on the brakes. The last of the late breakers is claimed by Johan Zarco. But going on to the right-hand side now for turn 3 for Lagos. We still have many more opportunities on this penultimate lap. Left-hand side we will go. Power setting 2 enabled. Chuck it into power setting 3 briefly if we need to as we just touch the rumble strip. That has compromised our exit speed quite a lot as we get hard on the brakes now for the Tour VIP. Left-hand side will go. The gap is less than 0.3 of a second. This is not over by a long shot, ladies and gentlemen. Johan Zarco, don't pull the same trick like you did in Argentina because I will not be impressed where he had that sort of extra speed boost. Right-hand side, we now go for Samsung. We will bring on the power. A little bit too eager there, just trying to stay within range of Johan Zarco. But boy, oh boy, the Frenchman has some serious pace on this penultimate lap time. He has certainly saved his best to the end as we lost a whole second after so much battling on that previous lap time. Full acceleration now, going into the left-hander for turn 12. It doesn't look like we're going to be close enough as Zarco, 4/10 of a second up the road ahead of us now on this penultimate lap. We will have one more lap after this one. That's all we're going to be able to do, chasing down Johan Zarco. He seems to have had a sort of second wind after diving up in the inside of the Frenchman. He certainly seems to be more focused and back on it now. Get on the right-hand side for the gallop, and let's see what we can produce on this final lap. It's going to have to be one heck of a lap if we want to get a chance of beating Johan Zarco. Quick look on the right-hand side there. The lap times have been pretty good, but this one has to be the best to chase down Johan Zarco. We've run it a little bit wide going into turn 1. Massive mistake coming in the way of there of Grant. No track limit warning given, but that could be the end of this battle. Oh, what a mistake coming in from the Aprilia man. We've done everything we can, and I think the tyres are just giving up on us now. I think they've had enough. There's no way we can continue to chase down Johan Zarco at this level, at this pace, but we're going to give it another go. Tour VIP, left-hand side we will go, giving everything 120%, just like the AI difficulty. We're giving it everything. Everything's going to be on the cards here today. We're going to just go for it and see what we can produce, but God, I hope we can get there, because I don't want to be denied by Johan Zarco once again. The Frenchman now has a 7/10 of a second gap. I think this might be it, guys. I'm sorry if I'm not going to be able to continue to chase him down, but I'm giving it everything. I swear to God, I'm doing everything I can. Right-hand side we go for Portimao for turn 10. Turn 11 to be navigated. We're building that rhythm again. It looks like we are closing in again, but we just need maybe 1 or 2 more laps. Hard on the brakes we go as Johan Zarco's made a massive mistake. Is this it? Is this it? Do we have a chance? Turn 13. Full acceleration. Come on. Half a tenth. Oh, my half a second. Oh, it's not going to be enough. It's still too much of a gap. But Johan Zarco just teased us a little bit. The gap is 4/10 of a second. Power sending 3 is enabled. Please run it wide going into the final corner, Zarco. We're going for that tight apex, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. Johan Zarco has got the job done once again. A second Grand Prix victory for Johan Zarco, but Grant from 20th to 2nd. What a race. Miguel Oliveira takes 3rd. So there you go, guys. The end of Portimao. The Portuguese GP certainly didn't disappoint, did it? Johan Zarco wins with Grant in 2nd and Miguel Oliveira taking 3rd position. A look at the championship standings, and Zarco now claims the top position with 25 points ahead of both factory Ducati teammates Jack Miller and Pecco Bagnaia. Grant has put himself up into 4th position by trailing by just 30 points. A look at the team championships, and factory Ducati still lead the way just by 17 points ahead of Pramac Racing Ducati, and in 3rd position now Aprilia Racing Team Grassini trail by just 27 points. A look at the Constructors' Championship now, as Ducati well and truly comfortably lead the way by a whole whopping 45 points ahead of Yamaha, and a further 1 point more than Aprilia in 3rd position. So we'll look at Parc Ferme, and let me remind you just that once more time, just in case you didn't really quite grasp it. We started this Grand Prix 20th place, and we have now claimed our 2nd podium this season in 4 rounds of MotoGP. I can't tell you how pleased I am with that one, because to start Qatar, it looks very, very concerning, and I thought I'm going to have a massive, massive job on my hands. But guys, another podium celebration, another Parc Ferme for that man on your screen right now. So onto the podium we will go, and this is where I will leave you. So guys, thank you very, very much for watching the video. If you enjoyed, please make sure you like, comment and subscribe. It helps the channel out quite a lot. And upon that note, guys, thank you very much for watching. Hit the notification bell to be alerted to every single Dot Race upload, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys. Ciao for now. Oh, hi. Didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more Dot Race content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single Dot Race video.